Okay, so now if I talk about organizational culture, what is organization's culture? See, each of us has a unique personality, traits, and characteristics that influence the way we act and interact with each other, isn't it? So, when we describe someone as warm, open, relaxed, shy, or aggressive, we are actually describing their personality traits. Similarly, as an organization too, it has its own personality, which we call its culture. The culture influences the way employees act and interact with each other. An organization culture can make employee feel included, empowered, and supported, or it can have a opposite effect. Because culture can be powerful, it's important for managers to pay attention to it because it's the way the people do things around here. It's based on the values, symbols, ritual, myths, and practices that people are doing when they are working together. So all of these things shape up organizational culture, and it's actually the personality of an organization. How relaxed culture an organization has, how rigid culture an organization has, how smooth going organization is, how tough going an organization is. So all of these words actually come from the culture that the organization shapes up. Here we are having certain dynamics, or we can say dimensions of organization culture, which shapes up a culture of the company. So here are certain factors that I am having in this exhibit 7-5. So attention to detail, degree to which employees are expected to exhibit precision, analysis, and attention to detail. Obviously, some cultures of the organization possess the attentions to detail, and each and every employee is required to be very very attentive in analysis and to pay attentions in all sort of details and actions that organization is performing. So this is one dimension of a culture. Then outcome orientation, degree to which managers focus on results or outcome rather than on how those outcomes are achieved. Obviously, there are certain things in organization culture that some cultures are very outcome oriented, like they are focused on the outcome at any cost, and they are not paying that attention to how those outcomes should be, what kind of the measures should be taken for achieving those outcomes. That's not the concern. This concern is to produce the outcome. Some organizations are highly people oriented. It means degree to which management decisions take into account the effects on people and the organization. Obviously, the people, the harmony, the values are a core function of those organization, and they are very happy going and very people oriented sort of the culture they possess. Some organizations possess team orientation, that is degree to which work is organized around teams rather than individual. The synergetic effect, synergy is there when people combine their efforts with each other rather than giving their individual effort. So team orientation is also there. Then we are having aggressiveness, degree to which employees are aggressive and competitive rather than cooperative. Obviously, this is also a thing that we have observed in many organizations, and he will completely agree with this, that there are also certain cultures in which appreciation are not there and people are not happy with what you are performing. They actually, instead of cooperating, they are aggressive and they try to compete you. So this is also a dimension that makes or shapes up the culture. Then we are having stability. Stability means degree to which organizational decisions and action emphasize maintaining the status quo. Innovation and risk taking, as evident with the name, it means that how much employees are encouraged towards taking risk and giving innovative ideas or taking initiatives towards a good change. So if we talk about what are the benefits of a strong culture, so it creates a stronger employee commitment to the organization. See, when an employee is committed, so he's going to give his all of the dedication to the organization. If he's happy with the culture, if the culture is strong, if employee is getting value, so definitely his commitment will be very high and he will be very engaged employee. It aids in the recruitment and socialization of new employees. Definitely, a strong culture, people love to work in the organizations who possess a strong culture. So it's definitely going to give a competitive edge in recruitment and in training and socializing of a new employee. Definitely it's going to create an edge. Then it fosters higher organizational performance by instilling and promoting employee initiative. So now if I make some a comparison between strong culture and weak culture. So strong cultures are values, a widely shared culture Weak cultures are values limited to few people, usually top management. Values are only limited to the top management. It's not penetrated till the all employees or whole hierarchy. So it definitely you will not find their employees cooperative or highly enthusiastic. They will be having several lacking. Culture conveys consistent messages about what's important. Definitely, strong culture, in the actions of each employee, you can see the dedication and the importance of each and everything. But whereas if we talk about weak culture, so culture send contradictory messages, messages that's not giving a right idea. It's like contradictory, confusing messages about what's important. You cannot sense out what is right, what is wrong. Most employee can tell stories about company history, about the heroes, because culture is embedded in their values, so definitely they feel connected with the history of that organization. Whereas employees have very little knowledge of company history or heroes, or they cannot motivate, they cannot convince anybody about the organization, why he's working in that company, and there would be several loopholes. Employees strongly identify with culture. Employees have little identification with culture. It's quite obvious. Strong connection between shared values and behaviors. Obviously, behavior will depict what the culture is, and little connection between shared value and behavior. Your behavior will depict something else because you are unclear what's happening in the organization. And in this culture, basically, people are not happy. Most of the time, it has been observed that when the culture is weak, so people just work for the sake of working. They are not getting transformed. They are not getting settled. They are not achieving. They are not having any sense of achievement in their life. So how basically employees learn culture? With the help of stories, as we have discussed, narratives of significant events or action of people that convey the spirit of the organization, the history, the founder's story, that how the initiative of the organization was begun. So these stories are, we have when there is an orientation in an organization. I have also been a part of several organizations, so in orientation we have listened a lot of stories about the organization, that how a company came into existence. So the storytelling is the purpose of creating all of the scenarios in our mind, so that we can feel connected to that organization. This is what a story means. Then we are having ritual, repetitive sequences of activities that expresses and reinforce the values of the organization. Several events are organized. Different events take place in organization to make sure that they are following those culture what are required. They celebrate things to make people understand that they are like very people oriented. For example, if each year a company is celebrating Women's Day and several others days, so they are actually showing the ritual. They are showing how significant people are for them, and they are continuously embedding a cooperative culture in their employees. Material symbols, physical assets distinguishing the organization. The furniture the organization has, the marble, the wall color, the paints, the architect, the infrastructure, the entrance, the exit, each and everything speaks for the organization. It also shows the culture, that if an organization seems little lavish, little neat, clean, so it gives a good message of it shows that the organization cares for its employee. But when you see a place which is all full of mess, it's like dirty, so it gives you the idea that you should not be working here. It's a simple common sense. I mean, if you go for an interview in an organization, if you not love the environment there, if you don't find things neat there, if you not find people with uniformity there, so you definitely step back. You don't want to work there. So definitely material simple speaks a lot for an organization. Then language, acronym and jargon of terms, phrases and word meaning specific to an organization. These are also some terminologies that organizations use for in their culture. So it also shows how open-minded they are, how funny they are, how much caring they are in the organization. So definitely it happens in every company, that they are having their certain phrases and jargons, and they enjoy talking in those words.